Protestants brought indulgences back big time, right? It's called the prosperity gospel. And of course, here you've got the whole corruption of scripture. So how the Gnostics have taken this and corrupted it. Some Gnostics forbade marriage. They rejected certain foods based on a misreading of Paul's words in 1 Timothy 4:3. Right? Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. So they completely misread and misquote and misconstrue what the Bible very clearly says, very easily interpreted verses. Paul refutes such doctrines of demons as contrary to God's design. So Gnostics quoted scripture in isolation and out of context, or just flat out lied about it to give an air of authority to their baseless mystical speculations. Right? Actually, Martin Luther was considered by many theologians as a Marcionist as well, and he had certainly had very strong Gnostic tendencies. So Gnostic believes that Satan told the truth; they will have knowledge and be God. Well, don't forget, the serpent becomes the hero to the Gnostics because he imparts saving knowledge. So the serpent, think about Lilith. You often see Lilith with snakes. You often see, for instance, the idea of the Baphomet. He's got snakes as well. He's got the entwined snakes that look like the figure 8. The snakes on the snakes that circle the staff or the pole within the medical symbol. The snakes. Understand that's the Gnostic understanding of the snake brings salvation. The snake is good. Yes, the snake is the hero. Understand the symbolism here. So everything is inverted. Everything is turned upside down. Serpentine wisdom, yeah. So let me see. Duns Scotus says, well, I appreciate this brother's teaching and he knows his stuff. It's a little unfair to accuse Protestantism of Gnostic appeals. Yes, there are Gnostic appeals in Protestantism. I can do a show on that. I have this. You have no idea, buddy. No idea. Gnosticism has certainly infected everywhere. Yes, you can say that Gnostic ideas may have infected the Roman Catholic Church. You will see it in certain denominations. But when you look at the doctrine, Protestantism, well, you've got 9 billion different groups. Which one's correct? Especially when they utterly contradict each other in many specific ways. And we can find very clear Gnostic teachings within them that you can certainly see. And they lend themselves to this kind of wide, diverse array of ideas, just like Gnosticism did. But the Catholic Church is much clearer doctrine. It's a much stronger structure, right? So, yeah, only one of those can be right at the end of the day, Duns Scotus. Rome, it's called Roman Catholic because Rome was the seat of authority. That was the major seat of authority. That was also the seat of the empire, but it was the major seat of authority because that's where you have the cathedrals of St. Peter and St. Paul in Rome. That's where they are. So you've got the seat of Peter, right? On this rock I will build my church. Peter is buried there. The church is built there. That's where the Vatican is founded. That's the history and that's the historical symbolism behind it. When you look at Catholic, no, the Catholic, when you say universal, so when you're talking about contradictory groups that can't make up their minds, okay, hold on. Duns Scotus, you are a dunce, and you are at the moment, I'm going to put you in timeout because you're annoying me right now. Okay, I don't have time for this particular discussion with you. I have other videos discussing that in detail, and I don't have time for, look, Protestants, look, I'm a Protestant, so I'll just be blunt. Protestant history is bullshit history. Let me be very, very clear about that. It's 99% utter crap, as far as I can determine. All right? So now, let me continue. Even the devil quotes scripture. The devil is known for twisting scripture out of context to suit his particular deceptive purposes. Now, we've gone through an example of a bunch of supposed Christian groups who are heretical, obviously heretical, denying the Trinity, denying Jesus's divinity, right? And very simply, they're doing what Satan would do, right? Twisting scripture. So when tempting Jesus in the wilderness, I've got 2 or 3 more slides to go, nearly done. When tempting Jesus in the wilderness, the devil quoted Psalm 91 to imply God would protect Jesus from harm, right? If he threw himself off the temple, the devil ignored the context. God protects those who trust in him, not those who test him. Do not put the Lord your God to the test. So understand, we need English RCN. So, okay, the devil's temptation of Eve in Eden was based on misquoting God's instruction about the forbidden fruit. God said they would die if they ate it. The devil claimed God just didn't want them to be like him.